Okay, everybody. This is the Shadow Trader, and this is Shadow Analysis. I don't even know if I got the intro right, okay? Because I haven't made a video in so damn long, and I missed this. And we're gonna make a video today, finally. It's my final attempt at making this one video, okay? So, here we go. Let's get into it. Let's see what we got here. Well, as you can see, I've already drawn all over it because I've done this video 8 times. Not really, I'm exaggerating, but still. I mean, 3 times is enough, right? So, let's begin. Let's start with Warner Brothers yeah, because I want to show you. Let's move to the daily. And then we'll go to the lower time frames. But I like to start at the top and move my way down. Kind of like when you're taking a shower, right? When you clean yourself, you always start at the top and work your way down, right? Where's everyone? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to start from the bottom and work your way up. You know what I mean? But I digress. So, so this one I bought back. Well, no, let's move back to the hourly now. Because I can't tell where I bought here because I was playing the hourly. I'm still playing the hourly on this. So, yeah. Okay. I bought back here. I bought right here. I saw this green bar and I saw these two inverted hammers and I'm like, not only that, guys, but not only was this a beautiful setup here, not only was the technicals lined up so perfectly because everything was so low, and not only that, but it was the only bullish stock on the day where everything was down. And I'm like, and it wasn't even bullish yet, but you can see it behind the scenes. It was the only stock that people were buying in the dark pool that day. And I'm like, and I see this setup here. And I'm like, yeah, I think, uh, I think I'm gonna buy that. And this is as far as it went. So, uh, let's now study this. All right. So I went to here. I sold. Came down here. I bought here. Uh, now I did buy a little bit prematurely here. Um, because I saw the green doji and I'm like, I want a piece of that because at the time the RSI on the hourly wasn't topped out yet, and neither was the algo. So I said, well, something's not right here. Now the short term was topped out, the 4 hour was topped out, the daily was already had already been topped out. So I was already taking a risk by getting into the stock. But I really like the setup, and I really like the fact that the hourly just unless unless I was bull trapped, that's very possible. And it's funny I mentioned that because if you go on the yearly, we actually have a bull trap setup. But the point is, it's not done yet. It could go a lot higher. It's not done with this bull trap scenario here, right? So what I'm expecting here is continuation. I'm expecting continuation to hit for around, well, yeah, 250-ish around here. It might pop a little higher here. I don't know if it'll keep running after that, but it's been moving sideways for a while, and I'm wondering. I'm wondering if but keep in mind that when I bought it, the yearly was it was like here, but it was curling, and I'm like, okay, so it could be coming up for a double top, or it might just meet with the moving average here and then just get denied, right? Kind of like here, see how it meets with the moving average, moves down, but it moves back. That's kind of what I expected. But anyways, notice how it just dipped and it didn't even fall that far. Now from the high, yes. From the signal, yes, it did fall. But from where it rocketed here and then kind of fell here and been moving sideways, this is what you got. And I don't know, well, I do know. At least I feel like I know. And I don't, I feel like most of you, if not all of you, won't know because you're not familiar with these indicators. But I just feel like this right here is very bullish. And watch and look at this on the clustered volume here. You're actually lower than when you hit the low here. Here, well, so it's at the same place and you're higher here. So you're actually making a higher low. This is very bullish here. Okay. And when you're looking at these charts, guys, you got to look left. Always look left. You notice how you have all this consolidation there that happened for months is always going to come back to haunt you, or obviously it won't. It'll either be a curse or it'll be a gift, right? And right now it's a gift because look here, consolidation. So in this zone is where the consolidation happened, and look at this. You got a bottom. It got immediately bought up, buyers and sellers here, and then we held a higher low. The higher low are the previous two highs here. This is what this is what I was wanting to hold. When I saw this, that was when I was like, okay, I think it's time to get out. But then I did some further analysis, and I'm just like, this thing looks like it wants to. It really does look like it wants to go. I do think that we're gonna come up here, and I think that's what I said for like a wave five. I said I think we're gonna come up here. Wave five, I think, is gonna play out here soon. Very soon. We have CPI coming up. We have possible interest rates coming up. Uh, yeah, inflation is gonna be huge coming up, and I think jobs reports might, along with good inflation numbers, might make Powell say, okay, maybe I did wait too long. Um, where is my market sentiment? Okay, so I just want to take a look at for a moment. I don't normally go over a lot of like market sentiment with you guys. It's not really my thing yet. I will be doing more of that soon. I'll have like different when I redo my channel. I'll have different segments, and I'll be doing like going over some of this stuff. But uh, I, guys, I'll be honest with you. I got like tunnel vision right now. So I'm having trouble looking for what I'm looking for. I know it's here. Oh, here it is. Unemployment. I posted this on X earlier. This right here, I've been watching this since Biden. Let's see. So, 2021 is when he got inaugurated, right? Now, when that happened, since then, jobs plummeted under Biden. Um, I'm sorry, jobs grew under Biden. Um, and that was mostly due to this here. all this was pretty much COVID, right? That's when we had our little mini crash here. That's why this exploded. There's how this exploded, and this is crawling. And then Biden took over, and then it crashed because um you had people returning back to work from COVID. That's all that was. Uh, but when Biden and not to get political here, he didn't sign shit. But uh, when he signed some of these bills, like for example, the Chips Act, I think that was called. He created hypothetical jobs, right? Because I mean, I guess technically he did create jobs, technically because you got to build those factories, but you know, we would have to go into the numbers and see how many Americans jobs he created because honestly, a lot of this stuff is inflated. You know, because a lot of jobs, as we've seen from the deportations, a lot of jobs were taken over by illegal immigrants, and so I think that you're about to see because more Americans now, they've done the studies, right? More Americans now are getting hired more than ever because they don't have a choice. They just don't have a choice. And so that's the problem, though, with hiring illegals is that they'll never want to change the minimum wage because then they will have to pay everyone a fair wage, and then they wouldn't be able to get cheap labor anymore. Uh, but this is changing everything. All this heavy, massive deportations because now we're not only getting the ones that Biden let in, we're getting the ones that we missed last time. We're getting the ones that have been in that have been cheating the system for many years. And I'm only gonna say this once because, like I said, I don't want to get too political on here unless it's relevant. But if uh if you've been here for so long, illegally, I'm one of those guys where I'm like, if you get away with the crime, then you deserve to be free, right? If you're good enough to get away with the crime and not get caught, then you deserve to be free, right? Uh, and so do they. But at the same time, right? You've had all that time. Why didn't you just go through the process? You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyways, anyways, let's get back on track here. So I think with the deportations, um, I think you're seeing not just what's happening overall, but I think you're just seeing. I think you're seeing a lot of truths here. You know what I mean? I think you're uncovering a lot of what is wrong with America in general, and it affects our financial markets severely. And I think with Trump, or at least because Trump only has 4 years, so as long as MAGA wins again, so if that happens, I think you're going to see changes that's just going to continue to shake everything up, and I think it's gonna shock not just the markets, but I think it's gonna shock the world. I think that it could possibly lead us into a recession because Trump's making so many well needed changes, but all at once it's kind of happening so fast that I think it's just a shock to the economy. I think it's a shock to our reality. I think look look this is probably the illegals coming in, right? And this is probably the illegals coming out, right? You're just seeing a huge change because now you're gonna have to increase minimum wage soon because you're not gonna be able to hire enough illegals, and no one's gonna accept and no American is gonna accept the 7.25 federal minimum wage. And I know states have their own minimum wages and whatever, but you're going to have to increase the federal minimum wage soon because there's no way that anyone's ever going to accept that pay if you can't hire illegals. And that's what this is telling us here. This is telling us a lot. And so I think you're gonna see a lot more hirings happen. But from Americans, but a lot less hiring in general, right? Companies are gonna have to ease their way into this. This is a new territory. You're gonna see a lot of bankruptcies, I think, because a lot of companies won't be able to handle hiring Americans, and quite frankly, bye. Um, you basically ran your business on not hiring Americans. That was your business, was not hiring Americans, and now you're gonna go out of business. I'm sorry, bye. Now, but you know, the whole point of what this whole conversation was, you're just gonna see a lot of change. You're gonna see a lot of change, and it's just like I said, it's gonna shock the market. And I don't know if you're gonna get like this, right? You might just slow climb up, but something at some point has got to give, right? There's always something. I also looked at the VIX last time I did this video, and I said that we're in a downtrend right now, and you could continue to see us moving down into 2026, right? This is poorly drawn, but and maybe it was rightly drawn. Maybe we start in December. Maybe we go. But I think that going into 2026, I think you're going to see the great reversal here on the VIX. I'm going to be buying it for sure. And it's going to be dirt cheap because I'm going to get it early. I am going to get it early. I'm going to get it for far out because it'll be cheap. It'll be a lot cheaper than buying SPY. You'll make a lot more on SPY if you have the money. And maybe I will by then, but all my money's tied up right now. And because I'm doing so much on the side and it costs so much money, I'm not putting it in a whole lot more money nowadays into the market. Unless I'm investing, I'm not putting any more money for trading right now. If I'm putting any on the side, it's going into like my other account with PRSO, which we're going to talk about, or maybe I'll put it into my main account for Village Farms. Just stocks that I want to hold, or TSLZ, something, anything. But I don't put much, not anymore, just because I have so much going on right now. So because all my money's tied up right now in different trades, I have to wait. But I think that a lot's gonna happen here in September, so I think I'm gonna be freeing up a lot of money here. Um, well, I gotta put more money into a few stocks actually before this happens. We're gonna go over those though, but let's get back into it. So with the VIX, like I said, I just see a continued downtrend here, and it's gonna be an up and down ride battle for stocks here. But guys, I'm telling you, just be careful here when you are looking at why is this on this list? I think I put this on the list because at the time I was looking at market sentiment, and then I found this stock, and so I just threw it on the watch list so I could add it to my other watch list later, and then I ended up doing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this, but we'll look at that too. Um, I think actually, yeah, I think like a lot of these like. Well, no, Amazon was definitely. I think I added that on anyway. Some of these were supposed to be added to the other list. Some of these I may not have added to the other list. So I gotta look at that. Uh, what was I doing again? Oh yeah. So there's the SPX. There's SPY. Look at SPY. I used to trade SPY a lot. I used to make really good money trading SPY. I was pretty good at trading SPY. I caught a lot of stuff. I think my biggest run was probably from here. Oh, not that far down. 450 somewhere around there. Yeah. I think about here and rode up to about here, and then I got out. Expiration, it was only a month, but I was only, see, one, two, three. Yeah, no. I think mine expired in February or March. It was like 3 months maybe. I think it was February, so I might have gotten out a little bit here. but I had to get out before expiration. I think I made a lot of money on that. At the time, I think the option was like 200. I think I turned it into around 3 or 4 thousand. It was pretty damn good money. Um, so anyways, for the time, it was damn good money for that specific account that I was trading it on. But then along the way, I just stopped trading it because here, about here, I traded a lot along the way. I remember I caught that. I got out here, which was a pretty good idea, but I should have got back in here and took that. I ended up taking here and getting out here. Wasn't expecting that, but I ended up buying back in here. It's like, and you can always tell when SPY because it's always so dramatic. You know what I mean? The fall is always so dramatic, and a lot of times like this, so is the rise. And sometimes I don't catch it all, but I mean, you gotta be perfect to catch every single move on SPY. I don't really have all that amount of time to like sit there and watch the ins and outs of SPY. You know what I mean? When I trade, it's usually pretty quick unless I expect it to be like a longer swing. Um, like if I see the technicals are really low, like the RSI and the algo, uh, I'm going in for probably about 3 months, and I'm gonna hope that I get it within that time. And that's if I'm playing the hourly. If I'm playing the daily, obviously I'm gonna get a lot longer because it takes so much longer for that to happen. When I try to get at the money normally, so that if it doesn't move, it will move within 3 months. But if it doesn't move to kind of like where I expect it to go, I want to be able to make money on it no matter what. You know what I mean? Because I know it's gonna move up. It just might not hit the target I'm thinking of, and so I don't always go far out unless I decide to get like a really long option. Then I don't mind going way out of the money. You know what I mean? And I'll do that a lot of the times with cheap stocks, like I did with Wolf and stuff like that. At the time, it was pretty cheap, and then it got obviously when it hit the target, it got really expensive. But all right, let's move on to stocks, guys. Let's big dogs. Let's do this. All right. So I haven't looked at a lot of these. I looked at a lot of them, but I have a lot of stocks on here, so I haven't looked at like half of them. I think it's so long. But but so this one did break under. We talked about my expectations. I thought it was gonna even come further down from here. This looked like a pretty damn good reversal. Yeah. But you can see it wasn't done here. If you paid attention, you could see that it was still in the downtrend. And it wasn't done, it still isn't done. Which means that unless the indicator starts moving more dramatically, and you can see it moving up here too. So yeah, I would say the previous quarter low is a really good target. So I mean, if it goes below that, it's new low. So there's nothing really to analyze below that. We just have to just wait and see what happens, right? If that happens, GME, we expected the same thing from GME, but it's still moving sideways. Pretty pretty impressive, to be honest. It just shows you how much it's being traded. We've never really gone over BBAI, but uh, why not? Maybe it's a new one for you guys. You can add to your list. AI stuff. This one for sure is getting to a good. It's it. It's getting really good here. Uh, it might even be ready. It might even be done here. Yeah, look at that. That's a really good spot. It could fall. It could fall a little more here. I could see that happen. You do have the gap here. Even though it's already been covered, it's still a magnetic zone. And I'll be honest with you, you got a topping signal here, which was a higher low. You also got one here. Uh, so if it wants to come way down, I think it's possible. I think it could go further down, but you got a gap here. I think that we could see a nice increase before we see a bigger decrease. But we're keeping an eye on that one. I will especially. And here, I mean, the increase looks like it's about to happen here, so we'll keep an eye on that one. CGC, another pot stock. This is one of the worst ones to be honest, but and if you believe in it and they're doing well, then more power to you. As of right now, though, or I don't know because I haven't really looked into them deeply since 2020. They could have changed since then. They could have gotten a lot better. I don't think they have gotten to where they need to be, even though I haven't looked. Maybe they changed management since then. Maybe they changed the team up. Maybe they've gotten better people. Maybe they've gotten better. I don't know. They could have. I'll have to look into them sometime. Village Farms, another pot stock, is my bread and butter stock. This is my favorite pot stock. I've got another favorite pot stock, guys, and I haven't really told anyone about it. Um, but let's oh yeah, let's go over VFF real quick. So this one is interesting. It's still topped out here. So you're basically getting a bull trap coming up here, which is what I said would happen, right? Um, now it didn't crawl like I thought it would, but it did come down to the trend line, and now you're getting a reversal back. Not a reversal, but you're getting a move back up, and it could still do so. Let's move down to the hourly on this, and let's see what that looks like actually. Yeah, so definitely. Oh yeah, you could definitely get an increase from here for sure. But it's not going to be anything. You still got a lot of weakness here, and you got a gap to be covered. You got a secondary gap that actually has to be covered really down, yeah, down here in the 80 to 70 cent zone. So got a lot of room to cover, and it's going to take a while because the stock likes to take a little while. I mean, look at the amount of time it took here, and some there's a lot of other stocks like that as well, but. Village Farms is very notorious for taking its time both ways up and down. So I know. I've been studying this stock for years. It's like I said, it's painful to watch, especially when it's moving down. Uh, but LVS, I've never really gone over Las Vegas Sands. I made a lot of I think I got in around here. I made a lot of really good money here. Nah, it wasn't that early. Wasn't that early, but I think I got in around there. May have been around here. Uh, but anyways, this one likes to make big moves. But it let me see. Yeah. I mean, you're coming to an apex here. You're getting you're already topped out. This one looks really good for puts, guys. I would short the shit out of this one if I had the option money right now, but I don't. Because I just put all my money into BLNE. BLNE, I put all my extra money into that I had in the market that I was saving for Village Farms. I put that into BLNE because Village Farms is moving down right now, and BLNE is moving up. So I said, you know, if your money just boring money don't make money, you know what I mean? So I just didn't want it sitting there and not making money. And instead of risking it in a trade and not being able to have it available for village farms in the future, I figured might as well make money on it right now while I have the opportunity. So BLNE, put it in there. So let's take a look at it. You can see I've already drawn on it because I've already did the analysis in my previous video. So let's go over all of this. I think I need to go to the weekly here. Yeah. So again, a little lesson here, a little technical analysis lesson. This consolidation here, or this move down, this breakout, move up. You had a breakdown, you had a break up, and you had a little bit of consolidation here. All this creating at the bottom here. Look familiar? Looks like WBD. Pop up. You came here. Look familiar? Looks like WBD. You know, you found the bottom. You found support, and then, well, it's moving closer. And then you go. And that's what it's doing. That's what it's preparing for. And this is what I think is going to happen. I think you're going to come up here. You're going to come back down. You're going to test that resistance as support, and you're going to go. And I think it's going to be a beautiful thing, but I think it's, sorry about that, but I think it's going to take a little while. I think we're going to have to wait. So I would take some profit here, buy back here. I wouldn't take all the profit though. I would just take like a little bit, whatever percentage you think is reasonable, whatever percentage you would want to buy back into at a cheaper price. But know that you're not getting back into this cheap or this cheap. You're getting back in this cheap. So just keep that in mind. Is it worth selling? Do you have a big enough position to even for it to even matter? You gotta ask all these questions because if you only have a little bit of money, I guess if you don't have any more money to put in, or if you're not gonna have any more money to put in, I guess it still would be a good idea to take profit. But again, you would have to decide what percentage is good enough for you to take profit before it goes back down, and you take more at support. But yeah, so that's let me show you guys. Look how the weekly hit. We got the signal on the weekly. It's working here on the RSI, looking great, great here. Not so great here. So you know that it's probably. Let's go to the daily. There we go. Now I think that might reverse on the weekly because this looks bullish. We did get a bottom signal back in April, but we never got a topping signal, and I think that that's what's happening now. The RSI looks like it. Everything it's just rolling, rolling. Keep rolling, rolling like that. You know what I mean? It's just rolling. It's looking great. Fantastic, fantastic pick, Burrito. So glad for that pick. Spy. Let's look at Spy. Spy, we kind of looked at when I was looking at sentiment, but I didn't really go over it. Just kind of told you about how I traded it. But I wanted to go over it at some point. I just didn't want to go right then. But here we are now. Let's go over it. I think this SPY can definitely move higher. I think that you might come up here and you might hit this resistance up here. If you take, you can kind of see where the trend is headed here. Go here. So this is what you're looking at here. And so it's very possible that you could get like for September CPI or interest rates or whatever, you can get something like this, and then just that's it, and then you break. Do you break? Is that it? Is that the end? Probably. Probably. I don't think you're gonna straight fall. I think you could come here, but I don't think you're ever. I don't know if you're ever gonna go higher. That's horrible. I don't think you're ever gonna go higher than that. Maybe you do here. I don't know. But I think that something is going to happen here going into the end of the year. I think this is the November, December first year, so it's December. So going into the end of the year in this zone, something's going to happen that's going to cause the market to completely lose its shiznit. All right, BMNR. Well, I'm looking at this one. It's within this stupid looking triangular pattern. It's within multiple triangular patterns, and most triangular patterns are within other triangular patterns, right? That's how the market works. Matter of fact, we could probably. Yep, it's all interconnected. Anyways, let's go over it. In order to get a good look at what this is doing, we actually need to look at so let's look at ETH. Let's see what that's doing. So I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look great. It looks like it could still move down. I think if you're gonna move higher though anytime soon, if it's not gonna happen now, or I don't, why would it, right? But do have, like I said, we have events coming up, so this could continue falling through the events, and then find some support here, right? And then continue higher for sure. But you know, we'll see. But in order for BMNR to go up, that's what has to happen. You do have a red hammer here, so it is looking likely that we are going to fall along with ETH. So WBD, did we already go over this? I think we did. Um, again, I really like this. I've liked this since here. I still like this. This looks really good. I do think this is going to start moving next week, so look out for that. But it wouldn't shock me if it just kept moving sideways here either. Open is another one, and I do think that it is going to come down, but this one is looking amazing, and I think it's going to trap a lot of people here. But I'm hoping it comes down before CPI, but I doubt it. Maybe I don't know. I just don't see it coming up too much far. It could go up a little bit more here, but I don't know if I see it going up too much farther here. Let's look at the hourly on this one. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So you're definitely coming down here. So that's cool. You know, are we gonna come back down here to this gap? I would like that. I'm gonna buy a ton if that happens, and I'm gonna go into hiding, and I'll be a millionaire like 6 months later. Because this thing is gonna squeeze, guys. This thing is gonna squeeze like a madman. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be a wild. It's gonna be like the AMC squeeze. It's gonna be wild. Telling you, massive potential there. Tesla, we're moving up. This little bull flag we got going on here. I've been saying for weeks, guys, you can easily make money if you buy Tesla. Now I know it's been moving like shit like this, but I'm telling you, if you were to keep averaging down on those options as it's moving in within this bull flag, I'm telling you, you're gonna make money. Why didn't I? Well, because I put all my money into other trades that are still moving, less like this one. It's kind of like sideways and down, right? Before they all blow up. And then I also put the money recently. I probably could have gotten an option recently, but like I said, I put it into BLNE, so which is also moving up. So no regrets, no regrets. I know what I'm doing here. TSLZ. I am. So I think half of that money was for TSLZ, and the other half was for VFF when it fell. But to be honest with you, I probably would have put it all. I probably would have ended up putting it all in the TSLZ because this is my bread and butter. I love absolutely love this. This is going to be my go-to. I think when it comes to making money on Tesla crashing. If you don't want to buy those long puts on Tesla, and I probably will anyway, um, this one is going to be looking beautiful really soon. It looks like shit now because Tesla's getting ready to explode, but big gaps. There's gaps. There's honestly there's gaps all over the place. There's gaps everywhere. To be honest with you, so this thing will have its day. It TSLZ moves is opposite of Tesla, so when Tesla's bearish, it moves up. You've seen it here. Right now, obviously it's bearish. Obviously, and I've been telling you for weeks that it was going to be bearish because Tesla is going to move up. So hopefully you're making some money on Tesla. If not, hopefully you keep buying this as it moves down because eventually the reversal will happen. Uh, let's go over surge. Yeah. So go to the hourly. So I mean daily. So you can see that I drew on this one because again I did the analysis already. So where to begin? So here I think was the original drawing that I had, right? And I said it was gonna come down here and cover the gap. Not so simple. I still think it's gonna come down and cover the gap. I do think you're getting some resistance here. And what I think you're getting is that little magnetic curve here. Come down. I don't know if you're going to cover the gap right away because you do got the previous quarter low here, which is going to serve as, I would assume, some really good support. Then you could bounce there and then come back down, or just never cover that gap at all and just go, and then come down and cover the gap after you hit all new highs or whatever. You know what I mean? And you're coming down for your little crash. Uh, so that's what you have to look forward to. I still think you're going to get those gap covers. I'm sorry. I wouldn't want my stock to go up if there were still massive gaps left behind. That's just wild to think about. That's scary. You never know when it's going to happen. FAGI, this one is 62%. This thing is moving. So this is one of the ones I need to probably put more money into soon. I would assume. You did get the high here. I do think you're going to go lower. So I don't think this one's over. I do think they're trying to bull trap people right now, but it's fine because these bullish candles will ultimately down are a beautiful thing to see. Um, so when you guys saw FAGI on the other list, it was I was when I was following it. I mean, it was following. Let's see, 2025. I was following it before that. Yeah, so like around here, 2022, I think it was. Was that 22 or 23 here? But it was pretty low. If I would have been buying it the whole time, I would have made a lot of money. But I was watching it for sure. I think now I do own some. I think now is the time. Well, not now, but pretty soon is going to be the time. And maybe it is now. Maybe it is now. That daily doesn't look bad. Nah, it's not now. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way. It's not now. But if it is, I already have some, so it doesn't matter. I just want to buy some more at a much lower price because I'm a greedy bastard like that. PRSO 68% here. I think it was over 100 at some point. Uh, this one blew up. And excuse me, it hasn't even hit its peak yet. And it's got a lot more growing to do. I do, however, think it's going to come back down here on the indicators. So there's that. But it does look like it can keep going right now if it wanted to, or another little tiny push. Yearly hasn't even topped out yet, so we'll see what happens here. I think you will get one more push before the fall, but this will be a good opportunity to start buying up PRSO on the drop, and I think I'm going to do the same. Um, so 12th century is moving down. Uh, so this is one of those stocks where it's probably going to move down for a long time. This is one of those stocks where I wouldn't touch it. I would just read about it. Look up the financials, look up everything, and just try to figure out, get inside the mind of this stock and try to figure out why and what price. In biz, good memories, good memories. One I made a lot of money on, and it's not done. My price target was oh, wrong one. My price target was 58, between 58 and 65, and I stick to it. All these scribbles here just shows you. I was showing you how volatile it probably is going to be. Um, but yeah, I think you're coming down here. I think you're gonna hit 58. I think it's gonna be a great buy. I think you're probably gonna see 90 plus. If you buy at that price. So we will see. We do have a lot going on, but we still have months, many months before 2026. So let's let's relax. Let's relax here. No crash yet. Let's enjoy what's left of this bull market if there's anything left. Um, AIMD is still coming down, but it had a nice little push there for a little while. Going back down now, lower high. So if you're still in, not good, but it's understandable if you want to hold for the long term if you're an investor because I do think AID's got potential. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Oh. And Wolf is pretty much the same. It kind of popped off. I think they're like weeks behind or ahead, whichever way you want to look at it. But Wolf, in my opinion, still has another, I would say another 30 days maybe for it to kind of like catch up to where AMID is. We still have to break past this trend line here before we can even break out anywhere anyways. So we have a lot to prove here. So question is, are we gonna move up soon? I don't know. This thing's been moving sideways. We're getting signals here. It does look like it's trying to move up right now, but is it a big move? Is it a small move? It's been moving up and down. It's been moving sideways for a while. Not 100% sure, but from the look of the algo, it looks like we could be getting a double bottom here, and even here, I think you're looking at the VIX scenario where you get the downtrend here, and then you break out. So it's all adding up here. We just gotta be patient. You just gotta wait. And quite frankly, I can't wait to get Wolf under $1 or at 70 cents. It's gonna be amazing. The YCBD, another pot stock. This one, this one I actually fell in love with. This was my first favorite pot stock. So I guess technically I've got three, right? So the other one I haven't told anyone about. So I used to follow YCBD back in 2019, 2020. This is one of the pot stocks I looked into when I first got into the market, and I loved the idea of it because CBD was really popular at the time. It was popping off, and there wasn't as much medical marijuana at this time. So I was like, CBD, good idea. Thing was, every pot company, damn near every pot company, sells CBD. So it's like marketing kind of thing just to go, oh, well, I'm investing in CBD by investing in YCBD. So I did some research on it, and they do a wide variety of things, and their CBD is medically tested. They do They have a lot of different varieties. I really like the stock, and I think they're really going places, in my opinion. And but to be fair, I haven't looked into them in years, but I would have to assume that they've gotten better because I feel like they were on the uptrend then. So why would they be on the uptrend now? It's gonna be have to be one of those ones I look into again. But I really liked it. I traded it a lot, and actually, there was this one notorious time where I lost a lot of money on YCBD. I remember the exact moment. It was the 2020 crash, and I was panicking. I was panicking because I was new. I didn't know what to do. All my stocks were going down. One minute they were up by a lot, and the next minute I know I'm losing money, and I'm like, "Oh man, my YCBD is down so much. What do I do?" I was just crying about a month or two before that. To my buddy, I was like, "Man, I really want some cheap YCBD. I really wish I would have bought it at a lower price." And when it crashed, I panicked and I sold. And then obviously, you guys know what happened the very next week after that crash was done. It just completely reversed, and YCBD went from 80 cents at the low during the crash to $5 at the high, and I was holding it at $1. So even if I mean, I was holding it actually above that. I was holding it around 150 to 2, I think. So if I would have held it through all of that and not bought it anymore, I still would have made a ton of money on YCBD. So, lessons learned, man. Those are my rookie days. I miss those days. I don't miss like losing a lot of money like I did back then, but I do kind of miss nostalgia of being new to the market and learning for the first time and making those mistakes and having that excitement for the first time. It's quite an incredible feeling, in my opinion. Um, I don't even think we went over that. But YCBD, I've been watching for a little while here. Cause for a bit I forgot about it, and then I was like, one day I was just like, oh, I forgot about YCBD. Let me look it up and see how it's doing. And since then, I wanted to see what happened here because here looked really familiar here. I was like, it could break down below this support here, and it did exactly that. So I'm glad I didn't get into it. You see me on, if you watch me on X for a while, you see me say, wait on this, don't do it yet. Hey, see what happens here, see what happens here. It ended up breaking down. Just wait, guys. It's not always worth it to jump in, but I think this one seems like it's another forever because we keep on getting signals and we just can't seem to find that support. But if we can get it right here, like say here, and it makes like a double bottom thing, goes back up, come back down, and then goes up, I would be cool with that. I would buy, obviously, you want to buy here, right? Or even here, you can set your stop loss here really tight, you know what I mean? And they'd probably take it. They'd probably take your stop loss just like, just like that. Neo. And I'm not going to go over highs with YCB because, again, I think as of right now, it's a forever downtrend until they can figure things out. Now, one thing I didn't like about YCBD is they did have like a lot of offerings and whatnot. So that was one thing that I really didn't like about YCBD. But I would assume that they made a lot of money, right? And they used it wisely. I would hope throughout all these years. Neo, just I would call Neo a popper. It just keep popping, and I think it's gonna pop again. And we'll see. You do have some support here. You have a gap here. So there's some things happening in the background, and you are getting a topping signal, so it looks like you are going to come down and try to retest some of these supports here and see where we land on a bottom. NVBE, another one that's in a forever downtrend, and now you broke the downtrend. That is incredible. Wow. You literally broke the downtrend, and now you're entering another downtrend. This is crazy. It's over. It's done. You're done. It is over. NBB is dead officially if it can't hold that support there. It looks like it did come back up. The fact that it broke it already is not good. Let's see. Let's see if it gets bought up here, but that is some scary stuff. WAST, I believe this is energy. This does look like it's gonna come down here, but I don't know if it's gonna come all the way down here, right? So I do think you are going to have a much bigger move up before you have a bigger move down here. But we haven't really gone over that. We'll go over it another time in detail. SNYR we've definitely gone over a billion times. This one in particular, too many drawings. But again, I've been over it last time. So I was talking about again the magnetic reversal here, right? That's what I call it. That's what I call it because you have this consolidation move here. You have gaps that need to be filled, and those gaps create magnetic pulls to the price action, and it pulls price action towards it. And I think you could possibly be getting here a retest to the previous month low. Yeah, pretty scary for holders. I don't mind because I can buy more of it, right? This is pretty scary. The fact that this looks good here, you can see I had a little bounce here, so we could come up here and we could, again, this resistance here, it's not good. You got a lot of things to work through here. Uh, they really got you here. They got you here. We'll see. I still think 2026 is going to be a great year for penny stocks, guys. So if you're feeling a little insecure now about your stock, I still think there's hope. I really do think there's hope in 2026 when the market tanks. I think pennies are going to bank. So you can take that. You can stick that. Sorry, you can stick that in your pipe and smoke. I was say you can take that to the bank, but I didn't want to say bank twice. Rules that you follow when I used to do some rapping. You can't say the same word twice. Doesn't make good for a good rap. All right. Now, this one actually looks really good. I like this here. Now, you do have, again, look left. So you have all of this here. And so I think you're going to get a reaction here when this comes down. You're going to get, or you're going to keep going down. I don't know. But you might get a reaction here and then keep going. You might not even hit a new low. Might get that higher low and then go. Right? So we'll see. We will see. I think that's probably what's going to happen, though. If that does start happening, it looks really good. Technicals look fantastic for a move up. I think I would definitely buy some more. 100%. 100%. Gaming companies are always good. IWM, the king indicator of pennies. And it is still in pink. Hold on. It is getting ready to fall here. But that's okay. That's alright. We know that. We know pennies are coming down. It's okay. Pennies can come down, market can go up. or the blue chips, I should say. September is going to be a great time. Great time, guys. All right, so have we gone over everything at this point? I think we might have actually gone through everything that matters. Fantastic. And this video might work. And that's a fantastic thing. I believe we have gone over everything, guys. Fantastic. I am so happy that I finally got this done. We kind of, I think we breezed through all those stocks pretty quickly, quite frankly. We even went over some other stuff like the VIX. Uh, that VIX is going to be such a good play, guys. You have to get into that. That VIX play looks like it is going to be bananas. Like, what's her name? What is her name from No Doubt? God damn it, Gwen Stefani. Yeah, it's bananas like Gwen Stefani, right? I'm not gonna sing the song for you, but I think you get what I'm saying here. Yeah, I think I did pretty much go through everything, guys. Everything looks pretty good. I think you're gonna get a lot of bull traps here, but I think all in all, it all looks pretty good. We're getting back into a nice little buy zone soon, and in 2026 we can take the pennies anyway. Hopefully we take off soon on some of our other stocks here, right? But thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you guys for sticking around. Probably wasn't as informative as my first video, but yeah, I may have lost steam and lost steam somewhere along the way and possibly even forgot uh the hell I even talked about 2 videos ago that I was pissed off they didn't work, you know what I mean? On top of that, I'm a little tired right now, but we got it. We went over everything. I think we got it done. All looks fantastic, even though it's going down. But what I mean by fantastic is we're getting good prices, guys. We're getting good prices. We can start buying again soon. I love it personally. I love it when the stock market goes down because that's a good buying opportunity. I love seeing red if I have money to spare. You know what I mean? If I don't have money, it's like, damn, what's the point? You know what I mean? You can't buy. You're just watching yourself lose money. It's fucking depressing. But when I have money in my account, it's going down. I'm like, yeah, time to start spending money like it don't mean nothing. I love it. All right, fellas. Thank you very much for sticking around. Just a little update on shadow analysis is I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it up and running next month. If I'm being honest with you, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna push for it. But my editor just takes a long time, and I don't like beating him up for it. The dude works hard, and he does edit for other people. I just came along, so I don't expect him to push everything else to the side for me. However, when you say that you're gonna have it done by this date, and I paid you to have it done by this date, and you don't have it done by this date, it's been like 3 or 4 months now since he said he's gonna have it done. And so I'm late on some of my other projects here. I should have already been started a long time ago on these projects, and they're not getting done. But I should be able to launch those projects soon here in September. But how long? I hope he doesn't take a long time for shadow analysis, guys. Or I may have to move on to a completely different editor for shadow analysis. We'll see. But I don't think I'm gonna have it next month. But I'm gonna try my hardest to have it by October at the latest, and have that up and running for you guys. I can't wait personally. Fresh edited video, so you don't have to hear all my ramblings. All right, like I'm doing now. So if you don't follow me on X already, I'm at Shadow Trader 17 over on X. Follow me. I'm gonna do like to post a lot of my analysis there. Because especially since I can't make or I don't want to make a lot of videos right now. The reason why I don't want to make a whole bunch of videos right now is because I do think that making too many videos unedited is going to do me harm, more harm than good. So I'm trying to slow down a little bit while I'm working on getting this done in the background so I can get these edited videos done for you and started because we have to go over pretty much my whole identity, and then once he understands how I want it done, then we just have to try to get it right. And that's the process that takes a long time. Because I'm a bit of perfectionist when it comes to anything that you're editing for me. I'm very specific. I want it done in a very specific way. I'm the biggest pain in the ass if you're working for me, probably the biggest pain in the ass because I'm very specific about everything I do. It's my dream and I want it to be perfect. You know what I mean? And that's my weakness maybe. Because nothing's ever perfect, but it's gotta be to my liking at least. The way I at least halfway envisioned it, you know what I mean? Or at least mo quarter of the way envisioned it. It's just it needs to be something similar to the way I envisioned it. Otherwise it's not gonna work. And so I think that's one reason why it may be taking a long time for my other projects, but shadow shadow analysis, I think, is going to be a lot simpler than that. It's going to be difficult to explain certain things to him if he's not familiar with the stock market, right? That I know that's one thing that's going to bother me is the lingo. He doesn't even know the lingo. He wouldn't even know. Uh, but it's okay. I will get this done. I will talk to him. I will try to explain it to him as if he's a 3-year-old so that he can get it done right for me. I think we can get this done, guys. I'm pretty excited about it. So that's coming. So my other projects I have, they all cost money. Then shadow analysis is coming soon. That costs money. So it's like I'm seeing myself put less and less money in the market, but it's okay because I'm putting it towards stuff. I'm still putting it towards investments. You know what I mean? It might not be the investments I've been putting it into, like the stock market or whatever, but it's a different investment, right? It's your business. It's still something that's gonna make you money in the long run. So I'm all for it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, thank you guys very much for listening to this video, and I'll probably do another one. I don't know. I might do two more. I might do one before CPI, one during, maybe even one after. It's kind of too important to not make videos on. I might not have to. Everything might just go parabolic. That would be great, right? Everything just went parabolic. But the world doesn't work like that now, does it? All right, my final goodbye. Ciao, y'all.